What's up, friends? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. This is a training from my teachable course, Skinny Fat to Six Pack Abs in 45 Days. If you want to learn how you can apply, just head over to my Instagram @_Garrett Wolf and message me the word teach, and I will send you all of the details. Now, let's jump right into the training. What is going on, beautiful people of the world? My name is Garrett Wolf, and I am the host of the #1 podcast for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs. I've built my body over the last 8 years, and in the last 3 years, I've helped hundreds of online clients shred unwanted fat and embody the best version of themselves. Now, let's jump right into today's show. Welcome back to another training, guys. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. In this one, we're going to be talking about why mixing it up matters. Another way to say that is the principle of specificity, but that title isn't as sexy as why mixing it up matters. So that's why it's called Why Mixing It Up Matters. And this is just letting you guys know kind of why you wouldn't want to stick to a certain workout plan for any longer than 2 to 3 months. Because basically, the point that I'm going to get across in this video here in this short little training is the principle of specificity states that any kind of stimulus or any kind of pressure or any kind of, really it's stimulus is the right word, any kind of stimulus or response that, not response, any kind of stimulus placed onto your body or any kind of demand, any kind of force production, right, placed onto your body will elicit a specific response in accordance to combating that stimulus, right? So I'm going to say that again. Any kind of stimulus placed on your body will elicit an adaptation that minimizes the damage of that stimulus, right? So what does this mean for you? What does this mean for a workout plan? Basically, what it means for a workout plan is if you're doing a push-pull legs kind of split that we are during weeks 1 and 4 here in the academy, is your body is going to get better and better at doing that specific split week by week, every single day that you're continuing to do it. So your body will adapt to any kind of stimulus it's placed under, right? This is kind of how evolution is made. This is kind of why we can build muscle and lose fat. This is why we can get smarter. This is why we can get stupider. This is why we can get faster. This is why we can get slower, right? Your body will adapt to any kind of stimulus it's given because your body wants to survive. It'll do everything in its power to keep your body alive, and it's doing so by kind of responding to the environment. That's why when you go for sprints, you get faster at sprinting, right? You get faster at running because your body thinks, oh shit, if we don't get faster at sprinting, we might die, right? That's what it thinks. It's pretty extreme, right? Because we used to be in the wild. It's just now recently that we're kind of confined by our safe house walls and we're not really in danger of getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, right? But millions of years ago, that's not exactly how it was. Our bodies are survival machines. That's life in general. Life in general wants to survive. It does everything in its power to survive. That's why it's going to respond to any stimulus placed upon it. Right? So that's why, for someone that wants a strong bench, they wouldn't just bench press every single day, 6 days a week, for 3 months and expect to get their bench press up. Because this principle of specificity states that your bench press will go up pretty fast right away, especially if it's the only thing you're doing, because your body will adapt to any stimulus that it's put under. So you wouldn't want to do something like that for longer than, I'd say, a month or even 2 months. It depends person to person how long you can make progress, but you wouldn't be able to do that for 3 to 4 months and continually make progress, right? Because your body will adapt to the stimulus and then it will no longer continue to adapt. That's the problem. That's the principle of specificity, and that's the problem that comes in. Is it'll only adapt, so often. It'll only adapt so frequently. So the problem is, right, if you sprint, your body will adapt because that's sprinting. But if you do bench press and you do progressive overload every single week, then your body will only adapt so much to that progressive overload without switching up the stimulus, without switching up the exercise. So your body, say you can only bench 135 week 1. Week 2, you'll be able to bench 145. Week 3, you'll be able to bench 155. Week 4, you'll be able to bench 165. But then by week 6, you may not be able to bench 175 because your body's already adapted to that given stimulus, right? The principle of specificity, once again. So you need to switch the stimulus. So all you would do is switch from something like bench press to weighted dips, or something like barbell bench press to dumbbell bench press, because this is a different stimulus, so it's going to elicit a different response. But if we're trying to build a big chest, then we need to do specific exercises and switch up the specific trainings that we're doing in order to build a big chest. You see what I'm saying? The principle of specificity states that your body will adapt to any given stimulus that it's kind of put under or put upon. So that's the reason that we're doing a 6 times a week training plan and not kind of doing, just whatever you would think that you want to achieve. So say you want a big chest, you think maybe I should just bench press every day. But the principle of specificity states that if you do that, you'll make progress for about a month, but then you won't make progress anymore because your body's already adapted to that given response or that given demand. So you need to switch up the exercise. So that's why it's structured in a 6-week program, bulking for 4 weeks and then cutting for 2 weeks. This is basically maximizing long-time results, long-term kind of maximization, because you can run the 6 weeks over and over and over again, because we will always be switching up the stimulus, aka eliciting a new response. And if you switch up the stimulus, mind you, you can go back to that stimulus. So say back to the bench press example, we're trying to build a big chest. If you do bench press and then switch to weighted dips for a month, then you can go back to bench press and actually push through that plateau because it's a new stimulus. Your body will only adapt to a given stimulus so often, or so kind of frequently, and then you have to switch the stimulus to elicit a new response, and then you can go back to that stimulus later. That's why we're structured in a 6-week program, doing 4 weeks bulking, 2 weeks cutting, so that you can run the 45-day train over and over and over again and continue making response and continue yielding a response by eliciting a new stimulus. All right, and that's the reason, that's the principle of specificity. That's why we're kind of cut out in this 6-week way where it's bulking, cutting, so that we get a new kind of adaptation or a new stimulus which will elicit a new response from your body. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next training.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you got some value. If you did get value and you want to learn a little bit more about how you can go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, just head over to my Instagram @_Garrett Wolf, DM me the word six-pack, and I'll reach out to you and see if I can help. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace, peace.